We are in the introduction to special education in the English classroom, and our subject for today is learners with attention disorder, or what is called ADD or ADHD. What is the definition of this disorder? Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is a brain disorder marked by an ongoing pattern of inattention and/or hyperactivity, impulsivity that interferes with functioning or development. It is some disorder which starts from something in the brain which is different, which people that suffer from this disorder is a little bit different than regular. The incidence. When we prepared this subject, we read some research, and there are different opinions. Some say 3% of the population suffer from this disorder. Some say 5 to 7, some say 10. Over here we decided to bring you the average research. 5 to 7 of the population have an attention disorder. Much more boys suffer than girls, and over here the research, what is the ratio? 2 to 1, 3 to 1, even maybe 5 to 1. Over here we write with 3 to 1 ratio in front of you. And although it's something from the brain, means the kids are born with it, it is recommended to diagnose in early years of primary school, not earlier, not in the kindergarten, because it's a little bit too early. You don't want to give them a mark on them that they have this problem, and maybe it will change. They're still young, but on the other side, not to wait too late. These students might not succeed in class, and the earlier you diagnose it, it could be easier for them to deal with their difficulties. The causes for attention disorders are known, but there are believed that there are two main causes. One is genetic, comes from the parents. In a lot of cases, we can see that more than one child in a family suffers from this disorder. And the second cause is environmental factors. The area where we live also has effect on this disorder. There are three symptoms. The first one is in all cases, and the other two really depends. The first symptom is difficulty paying attention or focusing on certain task. It's called attention disorder. People that suffer have a difficulty, it's hard for them to pay attention, but we want to focus it on certain tasks. Can be a person, a kid, a child, which suffers from this disorder, and it's very hard for him to concentrate in class, for example, but maybe somewhere else he can be focused for a very long time. The next two symptoms, in some cases they are, in some cases they are not. One is being overactive or hyperactive, not able to sit down, to relax, things to move all the time. And the last symptom is acting on impulse without thinking, reacting without thinking, reacting from emotions and not from thinking. And that may cause a lot of problems in a social reaction. Influence in the ELC. We brought here 4 things that can influence in the class. The first two are connected to the attention symptom. They get distracted easily and forget things often, and have trouble finishing tasks like homework. Okay, it's hard for them to concentrate, so it's hard for them to concentrate, and because of they forget, because of they don't finish tasks, and we need to be aware of that. The third symptom, talk non-stop, is connected to the hyperactivity aspect, and the last one, have trouble controlling their emotions, is connected to the impulse part. The difficulties mentioned above are connected to all teachers, but are more severe in a class where it is hard even for a regular pupil to understand because it is not his L1. In an English class, the kids need to concentrate. It's hard for them to understand what we ask from them. It's not their language. A student with attention disorder, it's twice as hard than an average student. What can we do? The first tip, which maybe is the most important one, is be aware of the disorder. It looks like the child can control his behavior, but he really can't. Don't get mad. In order to succeed in teaching, in helping our kids, we need to believe in them, to like them. If there is a student you can't, wow, you don't want him to be there, it's almost impossible to teach him. Sometimes the kids which suffer from attention disorder, that's our feeling towards them. I wish you won't be here in class. If we are aware that it's not that he's a bad kid, he really cannot control, we can change our attitude, and by that maybe help him to learn and study. Make sure your instructions are clear. When you speak to the pupil, make sure he is listening. Keep an eye touch. Again, they have an attention problem. They might daydream, look around. You think that he listens, but he really does not listen. Make an eye touch. Make sure he listens. Give short assignments, short homework that fits his length of attention. Sometimes we people need to take medicine. Help him, remind him the medicine for many of the students really helps. We need to remind them. Very young. If it doesn't help, talk with the parents and find together the solution, the way the kid will take his medicine. Some more tips. Make small breaks during the lesson. Again, these kids have short attention, but if every 8 minutes you change the way of teaching, you change a little bit the subject, it will be easier for them to focus. Instead of reading 25 minutes, you read 8 minutes. Then 8 minutes you play a game. Then 8 minutes you draw something. Then 8 minutes everyone talks. I don't know, you break the class into short periods that needs attention. It's easier for them to focus. And the last one, make interesting lesson. Even students with attention disorder can concentrate when they are interested. That's like we said in the beginning. Only on certain occasions they don't concentrate. If something really interests them, they can concentrate. And if you make interesting lessons, they will concentrate. Now, watch this video for more information, and we have some questions ahead. Did you watch the video? Answer the question. The first question. The child on the video says, "It looks like I don't want to learn," and you are right. True or false? Second question. If the pupil with attention disorder does not look at you when you talk to him, tell him to look at you. True or false? Third question. As a teacher, if you ask a pupil with attention disorder to sit down straight, he will learn better and it will be helpful. True or false? The fourth question. The children with attention disorder understand that the teacher does not understand them and they are okay with that. True or false? 5. The child says, "I feel better when I am walking on my chair." True or false? 6. When the teacher gives a lot of directions, the pupil with attention disorder will never remember. True or false? 7. When the teacher gives a lot of homework, the parent need to help them but never do it for them. True or false? 8. There are more girls who have attention disorder. True or false? 9. The cause of ADHD is genetic or environmental factors. True or false? And the last question. As a teacher, be aware of this disorder. It looks like the child can control his behavior, but he can do it. True or false? Thank you for listening. We hope you got something from our podcast for today. Goodbye.